Welcome to the CV Confidence Coach podcast with your host Liz Maguire, where she helps you to learn the secret of an interview-winning CV. Liz shows you how to deliver a compelling CV which increases career confidence, optimises your professional visibility and opens interview doors. Tune in weekly as she shares proven and simple strategies to help you craft your interview-winning CV. Make sure you head over to www.giraffecvs.co.uk to subscribe for our free newsletter with more CV writing and career tips.
Hello. Thanks for coming back to the CV Confidence Coach podcast. I'm delighted that you've tuned in again. Today on the podcast, I wanted to discuss 5 things that could well be stopping you from writing a great CV and give you some tips on how to solve them. Writing your CV is, for many people, one of those dreaded tasks that gets pushed down the list and left until there's absolutely no choice but to tackle it. And although a great CV really can be the catalyst for that all-important next career move, it's often viewed as a bureaucratic formality rather than a dynamic force that can really make or break your professional dreams. So I wanted to discuss 5 common sources of negative thought that people voice when faced with writing their CV and give you 5 solutions to overcome them. So the first thing that might be stopping you from writing a great CV is that you don't know what to say. Now, the problem is that you, faced with a blank sheet of paper or a Word document that you need to fill with your skills, your achievements and experience, you're struggling to know what it is you should say. Now, this can stem from a lack of self-confidence or direction, and it can come out through thoughts like, well, what's different about me? I haven't really done anything that interesting, or surely writing that will be stating the obvious. Sound familiar? Well, the solution. If you're lost for words, then try looking at the problem from a different perspective. You know your personal career highs and lows intimately, but the recruiter doesn't. To them, you're a new face, uncharted territory waiting to be discovered. What they're going to find out about you is based on what you tell them and the perception that you give them through your CV. So your challenge is to consciously present an image of yourself that appeals and one which will pique the interest of the recruiter. So cherry pick your highlights and showcase them to match the recruiter's needs. Your first impression is really up to you. The second thing that might be stopping you from writing a great CV is that you've actually got too much to say. Totally the opposite end of the problem. Well, the problem in this case is that all of your career history, skills, experience, achievements, however large or small, seem important to you. After all, they made you what you are today. Am I right? So every milestone on the journey should get a mention. Do you think? No, wrong. Recruiters are too busy for an epic tale. They just need a précis, the highlights which are relevant to their needs at this specific time. So here's the solution. Think about the CV from the recruiter's perspective and clearly show the information that they need and want to know. Don't make them trawl through lots and lots of information to find out what they need. And don't worry, letting go of content that's not relevant for this application doesn't mean it's gone forever. You can still store it somewhere, but you just need to make sure that your CV, as submitted to the recruiter, reflects the best version of you for this particular opportunity. The third issue that might be stopping you from writing a really great CV is that you're unclear about your target. Now, if you're not sure what it is that you want your CV to do for you, then you won't give it the direction and focus it needs to deliver what you want. If you haven't got the end in mind, it's not going to achieve it for you. So here's my solution. Invest some time to outline the purpose of your new CV, and I guarantee it will pay dividends in the long run. Build up a picture of the kind of job you're seeking, the environment you want to work in, and the skills and experience that you need to highlight to secure such a job. And keep this vision to hand at all times whilst writing your CV to check that you are covering the requirements and that you're not diverting from your targeted course. Problem 4. You're unsure what is expected on today's CV. If it's been a long time since you last wrote your CV, you might suspect that things have moved on, but not be exactly sure how. And you want to present a CV that meets the recruiter's expectations, but you don't want to make yourself look foolish. So, well, here's my solution. Don't guess, don't risk getting it wrong. Just research current best practice and apply what you learn to your CV. And there are loads of free resources available, and CV writers such as myself will often publish free and easy to follow tips via their blog or podcast. So you're doing great because you're listening to this one, so I hope it's helping. But like I say, follow CV writers or recruitment industry experts who publish a regular blog. So make sure you look for something that's up to date and reflects what's happening now. The final issue I want to talk about that might be stopping you from writing a great CV is that you just don't have the time. You might realise that you really need a professionally written CV and recognise the benefits it will bring you, but you simply don't have the time to dedicate to getting your CV absolutely right. Well, here's my solution. Don't be tempted to muddle through. You'll end up with a document that doesn't represent you at your best. It won't do you justice. So why not hire a professional CV writer to craft and present a compelling interview-winning document? It will be worth it in the long run. Okay, are you guilty of one of these five issues that are stopping you from writing a great CV? I hope you can put some of this into practice and overcome that hurdle. Go, go, go! Thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the CV Confidence Coach podcast. If you did, please do leave a review and subscribe here in iTunes to make sure you don't miss the next show. Head on over to www.giraffecvs.co.uk to subscribe for our free newsletter for more CV writing and career